All right, let's see. Mm-hmm. That fucking works. Dude, F you, Microsoft Store. I don't care about you. Go away. All right, there we go. Oh man, so I got some shit for you. Ah, darn it! I swore at the beginning of the video. I'm contemplating whether I should stop the video and restart it again. Because they ding you if you swear in the first couple seconds of the video. Uh, Lunchtime with Dom. Hey, sweet. Okay, so chat is showing up. All right, it wasn't showing up here a second ago. Yeah. Okay. Morning-ish. Yep, lunchtime with Dom. And yep, I was wrong. So I have previously said that Torque Solutions was one of the worst parts manufacturers slash companies on the market, mainly because of their extremely crappy, unethical business model of just copying everybody's freaking parts. Um, that's primarily the thing, and then doing a not very good job at it in many cases, having a lot of stuff welded very poorly that just breaks and et cetera, et cetera. But I was wrong. I was wrong. Torque Solutions is not the worst. The worst is PLM, Private Label Motorsports. They are the absolute worst. They're so bad. Oh, there we go. It's me. They are the absolute worst. All right, let's turn this volume down. This is my own thing. There we go. I did on my phone so I can see the chat while I'm tuning. If you have PLM stuff, I am very sorry for you. Get rid of it. It is the worst made stuff on the market. They don't copy the parts right. They don't understand the function of any of it, and most of it doesn't work or is low quality. It's all low quality. Let's get that out there. It's all low quality. So the gaskets, for example, the gaskets burn out before the diametry section is done. Like the gaskets are absolute trash. The up pipe doesn't even fit correctly. The flange is some copy of a tunnel flange. It doesn't even hold the gates. Like the gate just spins on the flange. It doesn't even hold the doesn't even hold this valve seat in the external wastegate. They got the step wrong. There's no tension on it. It's not the right shape or size. Like I said, the clamps don't. The Lane had to file down or sand down an actual tile clamp that came with the tile wastegate just to get it to close far enough to put any tension on it at all. But it might still be leaking. We haven't even checked yet. We're going to find out if the boost control even works. They sent me a freaking, I guess, Gen 3? I guess. Okay. They sent me an email about a year ago, and I was like, they wanted me to do parts through them, and I said, I literally said fuck off, is what I said in my email. I told them I don't appreciate their business model of copying people and to fuck off kindly. And they didn't respond to my email. So they definitely fucked off. But what they did do is a month or two later, they released their version of my cooling mod. So, yeah. So that was funny. So they have a cooling mod, and it's a direct copy of mine. Like it looks identical. Yeah. Anyways, so let's see what we got here. PLM just sold Eddie a fueling kit for his diesel. Looked like the fountain of youth upon startup. Yeah. It's because this thing is clipped too close to my neck. I think my neck was probably blocking the audio. I'm going to clip it right here. Maybe that'd be better. I'm not wearing a shirt with a pocket or a lapel. I can't put it on there. You sound like a pilot introduced himself being like, Folks, this is Captain speaking. We've just reached 10,000 feet. We are proceeding on to 36,000 feet. We'll be cruising at the speed of 535 knots. Winds are 120 knots from 270, and it is about 20 degrees up here. But the view is amazing. Look to the left, you will see the communist state of Washington. Look to the right, you will see Idaho, where the people still live free. Let's see. All right, so this guy, it's just a staged car essentially, right? So what I'm gonna do first is his access port's not installed, so I gotta install his access port, and then I'm gonna download the newest version of Cobb's maps because I don't have them. Because they always do weird things with their maps, and so sometimes you have to go in and make sure that you're following the timing scheme correctly and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, stock engine, um, stock engine, stock turbo, stock injectors. It's got a downpipe. It's a map catted downpipe. It's got the PLM up pipe with external wastegate. That's really bad, like I was saying. It's got boost control solenoid, intake air temp relocate. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what first map to throw on here. Definitely something 91 octane. Here we go. 91 octane low EC. That's the first map we're going to stick on here just to get it. Married to the car. It's a brand new access port. It's not married to the car, nothing. All right, so now we're at 7%, 10%. It's pulling the factory data off. It's going to save that to the device, and then it's going to flash on the stage 1 plus SF map. And then I will take that map and I will modify it a bunch, including compensations for a wastegate duty cycle, intake air temp, ignition advance, probably target boost, um, fuel targets. I'm going to do a handful of things to it, but I am going to start from that map in this case. Matt Martin can confirm. Corey, yeah, yep, that's right. He's actually one of the ones that's talking about his gasket blown out. This guy's gaskets would have blown out, but we caught it. The gasket isn't even correct. That's what's hilarious about it. So they sell the pipe, or they sell the up pipe with the gasket. It's the cardboard perforated metal gasket, right? That just blows right out under heat and pressure. And the gasket is the entire up pipe flange. Now, if you know a Subaru, 2 of those bolts on the up pipe flange are mounting bolts, and the turbo only sits on 3 of them. And if you have a gasket between the flange and a mounting point, it's not going to fit. It's going to try and push the either the mounting point up or the up pipe down, and then you've got this squishy layer between the two. It's just stupid. It's done incorrectly, very poorly, and it just shows that they have no concept of what they're doing. They're just copying stuff. They don't know what the parts actually even do. They just copy it. So we put an actual gasket on it so that it would bolt in and would seal and not blow out. So, all right. So we're at 40% on the flash. It's flashing the map right now. Stock motor, yes. This one's all stock. Big turbo, thumbnail versus stock motor makes sense to do it for the views. I mean, the thumbnail for this is an exploding. It's a big explosion. So I thought that was pretty good already. I thought you said you weren't doing the actually. Yeah. So this isn't it's not my access tuner. I don't have Cobb stuff anymore. I'm not a Cobb tuner anymore. I'm not on there. I don't pay them money anymore every month. I'm still mad at them, to be honest with you. I'm mad that I spent so many years of my life sticking up for them, defending their product, helping them develop their product, and only to be stabbed in the back and abandoned by them numerous times. So yeah, I'm done with them. I don't want to do it. The new software is horrid. It locks up way more than the old software used to. It's really, it sucks. And so yeah,
unfortunately, I just not. I'm not happy with Cobb right now. They pulled the flex stuff, obviously because of the EPA shit, but they didn't give any warning, and they didn't give anybody a fucking roadmap of like what they're planning on doing. They just fucking said, "Fuck you all. We're just gonna do what we want to do." Like they didn't give any tuners a roadmap. They didn't give anybody. They didn't tell anybody anything. They didn't give us a warning. Like at least a roadmap. Said, "Look, this is what happened. Right? We had to do these things. This is our fucking plan. Here is our plan. This is what we're doing. The timeline might not be accurate because we don't know what's going on, but these are the steps we're taking to show that we care about our existing customer base." They didn't do that. They don't fucking care about their customer base. That's how I feel about it. Like, obviously I'm getting worked up about it, right? It's absolutely a big fuck you to all their customers. The guys have been pumping money in their fucking accounts for decades. Made custom and fucking tuners for decades. Just completely, just bloop, turn the light off, shut and lock the door, and fucking let this in there going, uh, the fuck. It's so irritating. I just, fuck them, is how I feel about it, honestly. Fuck Cobb for the bullshit they did to us. I get that the EPA is a fucking pile of shit assholes that are unreasonable and do stupid shit. I totally get that. All they had to do was say, these are the issues that we're facing. This is our fucking plan of attack. And this is what we're doing to show we still fucking care about you. And we understand that you've been giving us money all this time, that you've been tuners for us and supporting us. I mean, I've burned bridges for Cobb, okay? I've burned numerous bridges for Cobb. I've told other companies, other people, I've told customers, I told all kinds of people to fuck off because they didn't want to do Cobb or they're bagging on Cobb or whatever. Like, I have burned more bridges. I am a fucking professional bridge burner, okay? Burning bridges is my superpower, right? And I've burned so many of them. I have used my ultimate for Cobb so many fucking times, okay? And then they just went bloop and fucking left. So, am I irritated with Cobb? Fuck yes, I'm irritated with Cobb. Fuck Cobb is how I feel about it, okay? At some point, maybe they'll do something to fucking redeem themselves, but right now, they've done nothing to redeem themselves. All they've done is show they care about fucking money and new customers. They don't care about their old customers. Those motherfuckers wrote the shit into the new software patch, okay? They wrote the fucking locking, updating shit into the software. Everyone fucking updates because it's new shit. Then an update later, fucking lock everybody out. Like, they're like, oh, we had to because EPA. Well, you fucking obviously planned on it because you wrote all the fucking software and shit. Oh, the fucking battery's down this car? I just fucking did the damn thing. Wow, battery's dead. Okay, that's cool. Battery dead while flashing a Cobb map. Yeah, so needless to say, yeah, I'm really fucking irritated. Like, they did not a damn thing to show they gave a shit for anybody. Nothing. Nothing. There was no announcement to their tuners. There was like, hey, sorry, it's difficult. Like, that was it. There was no fucking plan, no roadmap, not even a speculatory roadmap. Like, this is what we're working on. There was fucking nothing. Right? And never did they say like, oh, we're working to help our older customers, people that had Flexible before, people that, like they didn't give anything. No fucking information or data or announcements or fucking anything. And that's fucking unacceptable. My website goes down for days. I feel bad for telling people about it. Right? Like, and no one goes to my fucking website. Like, I hardly sell anything on my site. And yeah, just nothing. And it's just fucking insulting, and it just shows you where you, as a tuner and as one of the loudest, most vocal people for their product and everything else, stand. You don't. You're just a fucking check to them. So yeah, dude, fuck them. So I canceled all my comp shit, said I'm not doing it anymore. And then Chase was like, well, we got to tune cars. I'm like, well, then fucking buy it. I'm not sending him any more money. So he did. So he bought it, and I still ain't like doing it. Just having the software open on my desktop makes me feel sick to my stomach. That's how fucking pissed off I am about the whole thing. I mean, I was committed to these guys for a decade and a half, minimum, almost 2 full decades. I was committed to Cobb and was part of the team. I fucking help them write questions for their Cobb tuning fucking certification and shit. Um, I help them with training stuff. I've helped them with testing things. I've helped them with ideas. I've helped them with all kinds of shit over the years. And just a big boop is just such a fucking insult, man. I can't even fucking handle it. Oh yeah, and then you know, being someone who helped write questions for their fucking exams for their Cobb tuner, class, I wasn't Cobb certified. Like you could definitely fucking write the questions. You could definitely teach people all the time how to tune and shit, but you're not Cobb certified because I didn't go and take the fucking class and pay it money, even though I helped write the fucking questions. So yeah, definitely, as you can tell, definitely bitter, definitely bitter. And then like I was supposed to get a job there, right? And they passed me up for Mike, which is fine. Um, my life is better because of it, but the way they handled that whole fucking process was also just absolute shit. It was just terrible. I was the number two candidate supposedly. A bunch of people wanted me to get it, but they hired Mike instead. Um, Probably because I am so inflammatory. Wait, is that the right term? Probably not. But because I am such a hothead sometimes, I can totally understand that they didn't want me there. Too alpha probably, but yeah, so they took Mike instead, which is fine. But I was bitter for a little while. But my life is definitely better for it. I got to go back to college, got to come home, be home where I love it here in Idaho. Got to do a bunch of stuff that I would not have been able to do had I been down in Austin. So overall, like it was the right thing for my life. Certainly the right thing for my life. There's no doubt at all. There's no part of me that thinks that it would have been better if I'd stayed down there. And I felt that way for years. It's not like just recently. Oh, it's better. Um, it's definitely something. It's an opportunity that I regret that I missed a little bit. Like I wish I kind of would have done that, but at the same time, I know that my life is better because I didn't. But just the way that was handled, man, it was torture. Like they knew I was moving, and I was like packed. My shit was in pods, and the pod's like, "Where are we taking it?" I'm like, "I don't know yet," And they said they were going to have their decision by like months ago, and they just kept stringing me along. And I'm like, "Hey, my 2 weeks has been up for like 6 weeks at Turning Concepts. They're waiting for me to leave, so they bring the new tuner in. I'm sitting in the freaking house, not knowing where I'm moving to, and they knew that, and then just kept stringing me along, and then finally like I think they told me. I think I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to just go home, I guess. And they're like, oh yeah, we decided to take Mike instead. It was like so fucking. Oh yeah, by the way, like come on, like it was like you decided yesterday. Like they just strung me along for so long. It was so stressful. Um, but yeah, I went there and I liked all the dudes there. We had a good time. We worked on some stuff. I got interviewed by everybody there, and I thought I did good, and everyone that I interviewed said I did good. And I didn't know about assembly language, which obviously was probably a detractor too, but it was cool. I was excited to give it a shot at the time, and when they said no and took Mike instead, I was like, uh, but um, yeah, things are definitely better since that happened. But it was just like another one of the things that along the way just showed that you don't matter, don't matter to them. So protection racket certified. I wish I knew what that meant. They couldn't handle me. Yeah, I mean that's probably true. Like I said, I'm a little too alpha. So I gotta get a fucking jumper box just in case the battery's dead. I will be right back. I'm gonna leave a mic here so I'm gonna be talking shit. All right. Is anybody still here? Did I scare everybody off? Well, I can't just turn it off and do stuff. So I'm going to leave it running. My run's a little rough right here. They call it a module now. Huh? That's fine. I don't care. I want to see why it feels rough. Oh my God! Come on, Rouse, let's do this. I hate this. I hate that it says temperature pre-turbo. I know that from the factory that's where it is, but when you move it, it's not pre-turbo anymore. I just hate that it says that. But I guess with the FA, with the FA, it makes sense because they have two temp sensors now. But they could just say intake air temp and then manifold temp. Like, it makes sense to me. But I'm just nitpicking at this point. It just hurts me every time I go click on it. Like, I don't want primary. I want that one. Requisitor. Let's check some roughness real quick. This is a lot of parameters. It's not going to like all these parameters. Sometimes they get angry and you still this many parameters. I feel like the rough spot's gone away, so it's probably just the cold start ignition events being so. And then where is my? There it is. Being so aggressive, they come on. Okay, is my button not working anymore? Did they change the button? I can't look at the dashboard. What the fuck's the point? I know I can't fucking change it, but I can't even look at the log? How does that make sense? Oh, fuck. Cobb's back there in their office right now going, and fuck you too, Dom. Jesus Christ. If I can't even look at the fucking parameters, then why even let me connect to the ECU? Why give me the green fucking square in the corner if I can't look at the fucking dashboard? Like, what's the fucking point? I know I can't change it. You said it in 4 fucking screens I can't change it. But at least let me look and see what the fuck's going on. Yeah, continue the operation. You're not let me do anything anyways. Just fucking continue it. Just do what you're doing. Jesus fucking god damn it. Why did that do that? Alright. Man. It's turned into a fucking rant video. Let's update the access port. Let this take a fucking half hour. Holy shit, let me tell you about that too. Update emergency access port. It used to be like 30 seconds. Now, It's like 10 fucking minutes. I don't understand why it takes so long now to update export. I get that there's probably more complex things inside the export. I get that. But man, the updates take so long now. Hopefully this one takes 10 seconds just because I said it takes forever. But man, it has been just a fucking downward slide on the software. Don't make a new folder when you're saving something. If you're using Access Tuner and you go, oh, I created a map for a car, and you go to save it somewhere, you go, oh, I don't have that folder for that car yet. Subaru, USDM, STI 19, whatever, how like you format your folders for your tunes go. Do not do it, because 80% of the time the program will fucking drop to desktop and you will lose all of your changes. I spent an hour writing a fucking map one day, and I went to save it. And I was like, oh, I don't have that folder on this computer, so let me just new folder inside the save window. Don't fucking do that. You will hit the desktop and dump all your changes. I literally spent an hour doing the map. It did that. I closed the fucking laptop and said, sorry, Chase, I'm not tuning today, and I fucking went home because it is just terrible. Could it be open sourced without some kind of bench flash back to stock? What's the previous question? I'm sorry, I didn't see a previous question. Solution. Oh, audio sounds like McDonald's drive-thru. So I don't see anything about your previous question. Anything still fail back to OBS 2 and the stage package purchase extra revenue there. Yeah, I don't know what the other question is, but yeah, I don't open source. Not doing that. Not doing open source. I haven't done it in years, and I don't do it, and I won't do it. The only thing I do open source on is JDM ROMs, because they're not supported by other things. But I don't do open source stuff because the security isn't there. Improper use of the checksum, that's not there. Or proper use checksum's not there. So it's improper use checksum on the open source maps. If you fail a flash during a reflash, it's toast. They don't load the communication protocol correctly, so like it's toast. At least with the Cobb, if it fails during a flash, like you unplug it or something, you have a high chance to be able to recover the ECU. With open source, it's just gone. So no, and then there's no security. Like there's no protection against my shit. Guys, tuners in areas, especially over here, this guy, what was his name, Justin or something? He used to take tunes off of cars. So guys over here in Spokane area would go to the West Coast on the Marysville, would get tuned. They'd come back, he'd pull the tune off of them, and then sell the tunes to other fucking people and put them on their cars, right? Because they weren't locked. So I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not training other people to tune in that way. Obviously, I do it in my Discord. I do it via YouTube. Discord being primarily the way I do it. And I do it via YouTube. I train people that pay me to train them. Obviously, YouTube's free and all that. But I'm not training guys by giving them fucking maps so they can put on different cars, have the car blow up because it doesn't match that car's tune or parameters by any modifications by any means. And then when they go, man, you blew my car up, and guys, well, actually, that was Dominic's tune. He blew your car up. Like that kind of shit. Fuck that. I'm not doing that anymore. So no open source. Just too risky. It's too risky. There's no real time tuning, which makes everything take forever. There's no benefits. I don't see any reason to. And I'll be honest with you, my time is more valuable to me than honestly even for this. If I had known that this guy had bought PLM shit on the car and that I was going to have to deal with this kind of crap, I wouldn't have even done it. I would have just said no, thank you. Like I have so many things on my plate and so much stuff that I like to do. Using Cobb software isn't one of them, and I would have said no. I'm like, what the fuck is this taking so long? It used to be 30 seconds for a fucking update. He's an older guy, so probably sitting on top of his TV. You can't figure out why it won't change its volume levels. Man, I don't know where you're going with this stuff. Who's the older guy? Yeah, I mean, maybe my phone's not displaying it, but I think half of your comments are not coming in because I'm not seeing the one that you said about a question about open source stuff. So I don't know. Or maybe you're actually behind on the stream a little bit, and so I'm not seeing them pop up in real time. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, like this used to take 30 seconds at the most. And here we are, just waiting. I mean, has it even progressed? The bar hasn't moved. I mean, at least the battery will be fully charged by the time this is done, so I can do some of this shit.
What up, man?
How's it going?
They do tunes.s10s and LS swaps too.
Yeah, what ECU's in it?
Jim Boss, man.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
What ECU's in it?
Huh?
What ECU's in it?
What ECU is in it? I'm not sure. I'll find out for sure.
Okay, all right.
I'm trying to document an RB swap in a Z, the white one. Pull the VG out, put an RB in it.
The Japanese one? Making it not automatic?
Yes, 100%.
That'd be fun.
Yeah,
They make kits for them.
Do like a 400 horsepower setup.
That's it?
I mean, for now.
You said LS swap or RB swap?
RB.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Put it on a link and.
Yeah, put it on a link or Mtron or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
We can make it boogie.
He would tune that. The Z. Have him tune it. He tuned my car. I just took him for a little rip and he's like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, did you?
Laughing, man.
Yeah. Is it on ethanol right now?
15%.
Okay.
With the new drivetrain that actually hooks the new clutch.
Yeah, does it work?
Oh yeah, the
Nice.
clutch is awesome. It's
Nice.
funny, man. It's going along and also, Gah! It's like shit. I just started laughing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he tuned that. Actually, he's tuned that car like 4 times.
Yeah.
My different setups.
Different stages, yeah.
What a fucking bad man. He has another shop doing a LS swap in his dots, and he's waiting for a guy to come tune in. Supposed to be there last week. Blake Cobb was supposed to be there tomorrow, maybe. And after we beat up the show, I'm going to say, hey, I know another guy. Show you flash up for you.
I've tuned lots of LSs. I've been doing that shit for years, so.
Stock 5, is that 5.3? Yeah, 5.3.
Okay. What modifications?
Any mods?
Oh, so it shouldn't need much anyways. Okay.
I would have him do it anyways if he's willing to, because he's better.
Yeah, I like V8s.
Yeah. He's gonna bring it here and have us cam and stuff too.
Oh, right on.
You know Jesse out there, Honda, little redheaded guy, really straight teeth.
Jesse.
I don't know, man. Jimmy said he knows us. Like, he's one of the sales guys up there in Westside Honda now.
Oh, I don't know Westside Honda.
Yeah, but he's got some far off the field.
Oh, Anderson?
Maybe.
You said on the west side?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He had
At Westside, the Power Sports out there, yeah, like on the way to Cheney. Yep.
Man, I know so many Jessies.
Real go-getter, man.
Oh, yeah?
Fucking redhead.
Yeah. I mean, you know, right?
They would buy some Steve from out there, man. His jet ski with 300 horsepower. You find 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds.
If you can hold on, right?
Yeah. Hopefully my shoulder can stand, right?
Yeah, don't pull a shoulder out of the socket.
Nice. Cool.
Hey, it finished.
Hey,
thank you.
Good to meet you, man.
Yeah, you too, man. Have a good one.
See you again, man. We're just giving fun shit.
Right. Oh, no, don't do that.
Yeah, run around this little S man, right? Come on, we'll get your gas phone. Gas phone. Not the time to do some ass.
Is it still in the stock cam and everything? Oh yeah, dude, we gotta put a cam in at least. Dude, a 5.3 with a cam is like night and day. All right. Well, I guess these are all the new ones. I'll just copy these to the thing. They're listening to me, probably. Is the RB20 swap Forester for sale? And I don't know. Oh, RB20. I mean, I like 6 cylinders. Don't get me wrong. I like more cylinders. More cylinders, the more I like them. But the 6 cylinder 2 liter, I want to make one, but I want it to be a horizontally opposed 6 cylinder, like 2.5 liter. I don't want a freaking inline 6 cylinder 2 liter. It's so long for only 2 liters. Like, if you're gonna use that much engine space, let's put more liters in it. That's how I feel. All right, so this is a 2019 STI, and I don't know if I have this map, this folder on here for this car. I'm just going to copy all of these to a Cobb folder that I may or may not have. We'll see. Okay, all right. AP maps. That's not my normal folder. That's the default one, I guess. Tier 1 Cobb, there we go. I'm doing it. I'm making a new folder inside their software, but luckily it's not an Access Tuner, so what the hell's going on? That was weird. Dun, 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 dun. There we go, 2019. All right, just go in there. I'll drop those in there so I have them for later use. Okay, so now I need to see. You know what? I'm going to put the intake temperature calibration in one of those real quick. Stuff. Man, 20K for a fucking Forester of any caliber seems like a lot, unless that's super minty. This is a 2019 STI, and I think they look good. But when you put the car in reverse and you see the reverse camera, you go, ugh, sure this isn't like a 2008? Like, the technology has come so far. Why is the reverse camera shit so bad? Why is the interior so plastic? At least on the 19, they went back to a softer material. But like the GR, like this stuff right here, this hard plasticky textured stuff, I can't stand it. I'm sorry, something that looks like vinyl shouldn't sound like aluminum when you tap it. I don't like them. The technology isn't there. And then I get in, like, oh boy, I'm going to say it. That's it. I'm one of those dudes now, officially. So then I get my BMW, and I'm like, this works, and this works. And when I turn the wheel, the little thing goes like this, and the clarity is fucking amazing, and the features work, and the Bluetooth integration is great. And I have a heads-up display that displays my mile per hour and what radio station I'm on and stuff. Like, I have all these technological features that are awesome. The car gets 30-something miles per gallon and makes almost 600 horsepower. And you're like, why? For the money that the guys put in these things nowadays, like, you could have that car and be in that position. So it's tough. It's a tough sell nowadays. I wish Subaru would pick it up. Now, that being said, when I get in my RS, I love it. When I get in my little RS, my 2001, I love that car. I love driving that car. It doesn't have any of the shit that my BMW has. None of it. And I love it for that. I love that it has none of the nannies. I love that it's just, you twist a knob for climate control. I love that. But I also love the interior, because the interior is comfortable. It's soft. It's tactily pleasing. You know, the car's raw, the car's loud, the car's fast as fuck, and largely unsafe, compared to the BMW or whatever. But I love driving that little Subaru. It makes me smile every time, unless I have that shitty suspension on that I had that made me cry every time. But outside of that, I love that car. And these old ones just never, um, these Subarus just don't have it. They just don't ever tickle that same sweet spot. All these major Subaru special tuners are using backdoor options to tune Cobb and defeat the green speed restrictions. How much longer do you think that'll be? Oh, yeah. I love that you said that, because I sent Cobb an email like, hey, what the fuck, man? Like, you said you guys are going to be enforcing this shit. all these other tuners are out there backdooring the Cobb software stuff to get around the green speed and still tuning things. And they're like, oh, there's no evidence of that. I'm like, okay, okay, right. There's no evidence of that. Right. Sure. They're just playing favorites, is what it boils down to. They're playing favorites, know damn well that people are fucking doing it. They know damn well it's going on. There's tons of evidence. I got tons of customers emailing me, calling me all the time. Cars that show up here tuned by somebody else that has it. Like, it's, yeah, get an Instagram for minutes, exactly. Yeah, it's, it's happening. Like, it's absolutely happening. And they're just looking the other way. That's their answer, right? That's their answer. Well, if you're able to figure out how to backdoor it before you put the locks in place, then, then we're going to fucking ignore it and let you keep do what you're doing. Say one thing, do the other. I get it. The EPA is watching. I get it. But at least be fucking consistent about it. So I can do it. I have a laptop that's set up. I could if I wanted to, I could tune Cobb right now without paying them a fucking dime, and I could still run on the old shit. It's and it'll never become unviable until they do something to the access port to make it unable to load maps from the older software. But they can't do that right now because that screws our existing customers even more. But when that happens, then it will become not viable. But yeah, I have it. I had to. I had fucking old maps and customers that I needed to take care of and shit because it happened so instantly and fucked everything up that I had it for a little while. It was easy to do, um, but yeah, but I don't. So because I have integrity. All right, I've been yapping for too long now. Let me go to the integrity temp calibration. Take sensor calibration. And let me get my folder. Where'd it go? Where did my folder go? That's annoying. Oh, motherfucker. I know what happened. I was having an issue with my OneNote because OneNote sucks. Not OneNote, OneDrive, because OneDrive sucks, and I was struggling with it. I was fighting with it, and it was giving me all kinds of issues with shit. So I just plain turned it off, and so it's not here anymore. I don't think it's here anymore. I don't think I have folders here. I don't think I copied everything over. That's what's copy over. Let's save it here. Oh no, it's here. Yay! All right, it's got the calibration for the integrity tip sensor in it. Normally, I would just copy from another map that I did, but that was on my old account, and I can't open my old maps as I did with the new thing. Just gonna save this real quick. There's just apparently caps lock is on. That's all I'm gonna do. Just stock, just right now. Don't care. Just the base. Get the integrity temp in there. 19. Save. All right. So that's basically a what's that? That's a stock map, right? Yeah, stock map. I just relocated that. Changed the IAT calibration really quick, just so it's correct. Now I got to get the other map opened up, the right version that I can fuck with, because the other ones were deprecated because this access port was used. I know this access port was used. I thought it was a new access port. Turns out it was not. So we're going to low ACD cycle stage 1 SF. That's what I'm going to start with. Can be upgraded. Yes, please upgrade. I'm going to set up as a base map. Can't put letters in revision, apparently. Nope, can't put letters in revision number. Okay. Oh. I clicked it once. Save here for now. I'll rearrange all my shit later. Okay, so now I just want to put this on the car again so I can get to where I can look at logs. Hopefully the battery stays charged long enough to do a flash. Lights are off. There we go. Hey Eric, how you doing, man? It's Dewey. It's Dewey from the East Coast-ish, Midwest. Oh, it's a boring car. It's just a stock turbo, stock fuel system, exhaust. It's got a turbo bag with a pipe external wastegate and a Cobb SF intake. I was just yelling about a bunch of shit earlier. It started off as a rant about PLM and torque solution and turned into a rant about Cobb as well. So, Mid-South, Tennessee, right. Yeah. So, a little further east, and it's the dirty South. Yeah. So, I'm just out here burning bridges, bro. Just flexing my superpower muscles. Talking about how frustrated I was with the way Cobb handled the green speed thing and how they just totally turned their back on their customers. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Was I talking about the racist dudes I ran into from Alabama? Holy shit. I've lived in 38 houses in 10 different states over my lifetime. And everyone talks about racism is so bad and that kind of stuff. And honestly, in 40 something years, I rarely encountered actual racism. Rarely. I never lived in Alabama before, though. But yeah, I rarely encountered actual racism in, like I said, 30 houses, 10 states. In the military, we joke with each other. Um, we call each other by our slanderous ethnic names, you know, um, and we we do it all in jest because we can, and we all actually love each other and respect each other and care about each other. At least when I was on subs and everything, none of us were actually racist, right? Like we're all just scummy humans, dirty humans, anyways, right? And but I never saw any real racism in the military, believe it or not. I never saw it. And um, the first time I ever experienced real racism was actually towards me because I am half white. So I got reverse racised. And that was like the first time that it ever happened. That was when I lived in Ohio. I mean, I was fucking late 30s at that point. And yeah, I just had never, I don't know how, just never really been around it, I guess. And I lived in Idaho, right? And everyone's always like, oh, Idaho's full of skinheads and all that kind of stuff and all of that. But, even living here in the 90s, I don't think I really saw it, you know? Definitely some jokes here and there, but comedy is not racist. You can have comedy about racism. You can have jokes that are racist in nature, but an appreciation for comedy at the expense of anybody isn't necessarily racism. And I think that's one thing that people forget is that comedy is comedy. Um, yeah. So, but I hadn't really experienced any, and then until the other day, I was out riding my side by side, and the guy and I stopped on this road out in the middle of the woods, and some dudes were walking by with shotguns. They were hunting turkeys, and they were from Alabama, and they were cool. We were chatting for a while, and they were talking about how much they love Idaho, how beautiful it is out here, the mountains, the trees, how clean the water is. The sky is so wonderful, the air is so fresh. Like, you guys, man, you guys have this, and you guys have that, you guys have this. And they were just really really impressed with this area a bunch. And then out of fucking nowhere, he goes, you know what else is great that you guys don't have? Because you guys don't have a lot of blacks. And I was like, what? I was stunned. I couldn't talk for a few minutes, you know? I mean, at least he didn't drop a hard R. I'll give him that, right? But yeah, he's like, you guys don't have a lot of blacks. He's like, they really can tear up the city. And he's talking about Section 8 housing and talking about the way they're voting and the poverty and the crime and all that kind of stuff. And he was talking about that, and I said, hey, man, I go, we have that here too in Spokane. I go, it's just, they're all white. I was like, it's not a race thing, man. It's a class thing. It's a culture, not as in heritage culture, but just a lifestyle that gets passed down generationally, and some people just are stuck in it, or they don't make an attempt to get out of it. Like, it's not because they're black or white. That's what I said. That's all I could say. And he didn't argue with me. He didn't give me dirty looks or anything. He just was like, okay, you know. And then shortly after that, said our goodbyes and good luck hunting, you know, that kind of thing. But I was honestly really freaking surprised when he said that. He was like, "You know, a lot of blacks." I was like, "Okay, all right." Uh, yeah. Luckily, I was with somebody because I just went silent for like 5 minutes. I couldn't say anything. I was stunned, and the dude I was with just kept talking, and then like they left, and he was like, "Okay." So he picked it up. So, anyways, but yeah, not a lot of that up here. Like it's people think that Idaho is racist. Yeah, it's racist. So you don't want to move here. There's already too many fucking people here. But seriously though, like I I don't I don't. Maybe it's just the company I keep. Maybe I keep a more diverse group or more open-minded group of people. I mean, like I said earlier in the stream, I am a bridge burner by trade. So, um, you know, maybe it's just fucking export connect to the export manager. Check that shit. I hate that it automatically reconnects. Like I just use it to burn a flash, and then you automatically connect back to the freaking manager. Like, stop that. I just used it with the fucking program. I had a great point about Spokanistan. Yeah, I mean, or Spokompton. I think Tacoma is to Compton, and then Spokanistan, and then Crackamore. I think those are the ones in Washington. All right. So first thing we need. Oh my God, I selected the fucking parameters, but it was not the Gen 3 ROM. So now all those parameters I selected to try and look at the dashboard are now gone. This wasn't a thing before. This was not a thing before. I'm gonna do it all over again. What the fuck? I just want to go up or down to the next parameter, and then look, it skips. I'm guessing because it's AC. Yeah, okay, right. That's what I was gonna say. It's in alphabetical-ish order. Obviously, AF is not AC, but it's capital, and then AC, but then AV. All right. Well, I was hoping to just be able to hit space and click the ones that I wanted. Oh man, it just gets better and better. The software just gets better and better. Oh, apparently down is also means up. Okay, I'm clicking down. Ready? Down, down, down. Oh man, I just want some things to go right. Nope, wrong one. Oh, there we go. Oh, back up again. Okay. thought this would be faster, but the way it's bouncing around, it turns out it's not. Sorry, guys. I haven't done a lot of tuning in the stream. This has just been me venting about shit, apparently. It was not intended. It was supposed to be just about uh, private label motorsports being cocksuckers. That's what it was supposed to be. And then you guys turned it to Cobb on me. I'm not actually blaming you. It's totally my fault. I can't control the things that I say. Let's try it now. Hey! Look at that. Alright, so this is an SF map from Cobb, and it's got the SF intake on it. You can move to Idaho. Against my socialist wife to move. Oh, it's totally my fault, Eric, for sure. Yeah, definitely. It's always my fault. And it's always the tune. Like, it's always the tune's fault. Spun a bearing? Did the car have no oil in it? Nope, it's because of the tune. You don't need oil if the tune's right. Everyone knows that. Let's see. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to raise the idle. I don't like the 700 RPM idle. That's just me. I think 700 is dumb. I also don't like how low oil pressure gets at these low idle speeds. Now, that being said, I also know that long time ago, engines did not have forced oiling to the crankshaft, or to the rod bearings, I should say. They hadn't figured out how to drill holes in crankshafts and feed them to journals on the rods yet. Engines, when they first came out, had leather bearings. They were literally pieces of leather in between the caps on the journals. And sometimes, even then, it was wood or leather. So I'm not going to be the guy to go oil pressure all the time is absolutely important because, okay, so now we're starting here somewhere else.
What do you want for food? You said you wanted a burger.
Yeah.
You want just a regular burger?
I don't know what they have.
They have like a pineapple one with ham on it. They have like a smoked Gouda one. They got a blue cheese one.
No cheese, you know that.
Okay.
Just, yeah, let's tomato onion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And fries.
Yeah.
Do they have good fries?
Yeah, they have awesome fries.
Okay.
Cajun fries.
Sure. Thank you. I'm gonna guess. I'm probably not gonna hit 19. I might do 19. We'll see. I'll just put that as a starting point. 92 octane. Hey, Travis. Damn tune. They degrade. Yeah, dude, they always degrade. It's bad. You gotta stay on top of them, or they just start going to deteriorate. Too bad. Pump. CK. Okay, so this is stock fuel system. I don't like all capitals, but that sounds good. Stock engine. We have Cobb SF. We have IAT relocate, which is the AC Delco cal. Oops. We have external wastegate. We have an EBCS Cobb. We have map catted downpipe, and then monthly deletes. That's on stock mid pipe. I think that's it. Okay. And we do that. Lock to Zach Sports. Oh, fuck. Or serial number. I'll save it first, and then I'll do that in a second. All right. Other half of my ethnic background. Puerto Rican. I am Puerto Rican. And from both sides, let's see, it was, so the white side was English, French, and Dutch. That was like 40-something% cumulative. Then there was Spanish, lots of Spanish, which from from Puerto Rico, and then African. So it was like 10% African, 40 some percent Spanish, 40 some percent of the English, Dutch, and French. So it was an African was two sources. It was uh, Nigerian and um, I forget another North African one. I think I just said North African actually. I forget, but yeah. Um, but I grew up with Puerto Rican family on one side and a crispy white family on the other. Um, lots of good food on the Puerto Rican side. Let me tell you, I had a good time with that. My Puerto Rican family extremely passionate, and obviously it carried on. I have to say that there is what they call it, genetic memory or whatever it's called, right? There is some genetic memory. I don't think it's necessarily memory. I think it's just coding. But certain people are coded to be more passionate uh, by nature than others, and that's my family, my dad's side for sure. Um, I'm gonna bump the dwell up here. A lot of guys do that in the Subarus, but you add a little bit of dwell. Pretty much the whole fucking table really doesn't matter too much, but a little bit of dwell, just a tenth, right around 2.8, around 7 grand, 2.7, 2.8, around 7 grand. It cleans up the combustion a lot. You'd be surprised at how much it cleans up. Now, it does increase coil temperatures by a little bit. I mean, in theory, I've never actually checked it. So it could potentially wear them out sooner. That's the trade-off. But factories almost always go on the uh, conservative side of things. So there's probably a little more than that. Google said Uganda. No, I didn't have Uganda. That wasn't the one for me. God, no, not Uganda. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, and maybe my diverse background and the the stuff is why I'm so open minded about some stuff. I don't know. Um, Alright, pull some timing out of this thing because we're starting the tune, so I'm gonna yank much timing out. Wow, the map is really okay. Are we gonna keep going past this? Okay, I stopped. All right, pull the timing out of this. Just pull off from right here. I'm gonna approach my timing carefully. Pulling more out of that. Pulling a lot of timing out. That's a lot of timing getting yanked out. But I want it to be yanked out because I want to make sure that we're protecting this engine. So the VA, right? Everyone talks about, oh, it's got stronger pistons in 19. It's blah 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 blah. And I gotta tell you, I have not seen any of that. Um, I have seen more broken VAs than I saw GDs ever. I've seen them come in bone stock. Bone stock, I rarely see. Wow, that is a fucking whack curve. I rarely see these things go past 50 or 60,000 miles without an engine failure. Um, bone stock. Now, granted, those are people that are trying to enjoy their car. They're not all highway miles. But man, even the guys here at the shop, I never said anything once. One of the guys at the shop was like, "Oh, 60K, it's time for your 60K maintenance, which is a short block." And I looked at him and was like, "What?" And he was like, "Dude, they all fail less than 60K." And I started thinking about it. He's right. He's right. All the ones over here, man, toast by 60K, done. And so this one's at 55. So I'm going to be extremely conservative in the time in the mid range because I'm going to try and to help him last longer. But yeah, these new ones, they just are super fragile. And they go, oh, the R8 pistons are better. Yeah, shut the fuck up. They're not. They're not. Granted, all of my evidence is anecdotal. Yeah, all 1,000 fucking cases of it's anecdotal. And materials. You look at the materials in it, and all the materials and the percentage that they have them versus old pistons, most of them increase the brittleness. Yeah, I might fuck with this throttle later too. We'll see how linear it is. And probably going to add some more to this guy right through here. But we're going to do a poll. Not right this very second, but maybe I'll show you guys the right way to do ABCS. I'll do that today. Why not? Let's do the right side of ABCS tuning. Okay, so I assume everyone watching this knows what ABCS is. Oh, I gotta shut the hood. Hold on a second. For the intercooler. Travis, what were you laughing at, Travis? I'm just curious. Obviously, I'm a super funny guy, and nearly everything I say is absolutely hilarious knee slapper, but which knee slapper are you specifically ruffling? The 60K joke. Oh, yeah. So I have a side-by-side, by the way, guys. That side-by-side I told you to take that out for a ride. At 100 miles, you're supposed to do some maintenance to it, specifically add every fluid in the thing except for the coolant. And then, oh yeah, let's get rid of that shit. Get rid of that shit. And then check the valve lash, and it says in case the engine is noisy. Well, mine's noisy, so when it's cold, those valves are clattering away in there. When it's warm, it's not that noisy. So I don't know what the limit is supposed to be from Honda on that, but it's definitely noisier now than it was when I first got it. That being said, its first real journey into the woods was not an easy one. Shortly after running into the Race Alabama people, we got stuck in snow. We went down the backside of the mountain. It was all dry and beautiful on one side, and went to the north side, and there's some snow down there. And it was like, like a foot deep or so, no big deal. We'll just bomb down it. We're going down the mountain, and also the snow started getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and the roads were too narrow. We couldn't turn around. And we're like, fuck it, we just got to go. And so we go bombing down this mountain and turn a corner, and it's feet upon feet of snow, and just like basically a lawn dart into some snow. And we're like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? Well, we spent 3 hours digging ourselves out. Now we're an hour from we're 10 miles. It was only 10 miles from civilization, but 10 miles into the mountains is not an easy 10 miles on narrow trails that are loaded with snow. So there was no other option that we had to dig ourselves out. So we dug ourselves out, and it was not fun. Let me tell you, that was a pain in the ass. And then immediately after that snow area where we got stuck, there's a river that we had to cross. I don't think it was normally a river. I think it was just a runoff because the snow was melting so fast. It was 70-something degrees, like 78 degrees. It was 74 or 78 degrees. And the snow was melting so fast, it was running off the side of the mountain. And the trail where my quad was, when I got it stuck, was just running water down this trail. And then I get it unstuck, and I go to another spot where it's stuck again. Now the car is acting like a dam in one spot. Water's like building up. And I was like, oh, fucking genius. I'm going to use this water. So I cut some slots in the snow to direct the water so that the rushing water would wipe away the rest of the snow that was holding me in. So it wasn't 4 hours of digging because I saved an hour by redirecting the water that was flowing really fast down the mountain to pull the snow from the quad. See, I keep saying quad because I've worked quads for so long on my side-by-side. So, anyways, used the brain, directed the water, got rid of the extra snow, got out quicker, thankfully. Anyways, we go to Crosswood. It's now a river. On the other side of it, there's a bunch of snow again. So we hit it kind of quick. And I hit it, the car pops up and lands on a rock. And like spine-compressing impact on the bottom of this thing. I was like, oh shit! And I bounce off of it and bounce into another rock, and then back up and hammer and get out. And then it's deep snow again. I just got the sucker pinned. Wah! 4-wheel drive, just fucking pinned. I think that that 2-cylinder is doing 9 or 10,000 RPM, and I get it out of the snow into the dry stuff on the south side of the next mountain, and my tire's flat. The right rear hit the rock, it's flat. So I got 41 miles on my side by side, and I got a flat tire, and it's a sidewall cut and a pinch. There's a pinch and a cut. So we're like, shit balls, what are we gonna do? Well, what are we gonna do? We put 8 plugs in it. We put 8 freaking plugs in this thing. Finally got the whole air with 8 plugs. And we rode it for another 7 hours after that. Like, it held, and we rode hard for the rest of it. Anyways, I had a point to the story. Turn off the trash control. Let's get pissed off on the downer here. Okay, 1 second. So anyways, when I first got it, the engagement, because it's a dual clutch, it's not a CVT. It's actually got 2 clutch packs. It's basically like a mini GTR, right? 2 dual clutches, input shafts, multiple gears, and that kind of stuff. It's this cool little fucking transmission. So the 135 reverse clutch pack, and then the 246 clutch pack, or what it has. It is pretty neat. It's a pretty neat little thing. Anyways, the initial grab on that clutch is pretty aggressive. Now it's pretty squishy. Now I don't know, because this is my first on the Talon, if I smoked it, because it definitely got worked that day. There's a couple situations where I probably should have been in low range and wasn't. So I don't know if I smoked it or if it's just finally broken in. It feels a little soft, but it feels nice. It feels like you're controlling the clutch normally. So I don't know if it's correct or not correct. So anyway, so for this maintenance, I gotta do valve lash, all the fluids, and I want to check the clutch pad. But there's a catch. You see, I have a camshaft to install. I have a cam for it. And it's kind of like, well, if I'm going to go in and check the valve lash, maybe I should also just do the camshaft. I mean, why not, right? But if I do that, I got to do the springs. So I don't know if the springs are easy to do or not without taking the head off. I don't know. But of course, I have the cam installed, right? And about that thing, I said 9,000 RPM. That thing has the exact same bore and stroke as the EJ20. I don't know how long the rod is, but from pictures, I almost think the rod might actually be shorter than EJ20 rod. I haven't held it in my hand, so it could be totally wrong. It could actually have good geometry and be the right length. But it has the same exact bore and stroke, 75-92, as the, or 92-75 for bore and stroke, as the EJ20, which I thought was interesting. And it's an inline 2-cylinder odd fire. So when you crank it, it sounds like an EJ with low compression on 2 cylinders. And it ran, like that. That's how it sounds when you crank it. Because it goes 90 to 70, right? Is that what it is? Or no, 180. Is it? It's a fucking weird firing pattern. So it's 180, and then 520. I think is what it is, right? 180, 520, or something like that. 560. I don't know. My brain's not working on it. Don't make sure I do the math right. Sorry. 560. 180. Was it 720 degrees? Yeah, so 540. I don't know. Whatever it is. Like I said, my brain's just not working right now. I just took my last fucking finals yesterday. I'm finally done with the semester. I'm excited. I finished my math degree. I have no idea what I got in my final. Probably not good. But the teacher hasn't submitted the grades yet. Okay, so that was 4 pounds of boost. 4 pounds of boost. The O2 sensor should be pretty close to being accurate. It's still going to read richer than it is. So it said 12.6. The dyno said 13.4. The dyno is post O2 sensor or post catalytic converter. So it was probably a 13.0, 12.8 to 13.0 at 4 pounds of boost. That's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. I mean, we're on pump gas. If this is ethanol, then I probably would have been 13.6, right? Like that. So watch top right, air fuel sensor ratio 1. This is pre-turbo. And so a pre-turbo sensor is experiences exhaust gas back pressure, right? Drive pressure, as diesel guys say. And when you do that, it makes the sensor read richer. And there's a calculation you can do if you know the back pressure, if you know how much pressure is in the header, you can do a calculation to figure out what the actual AFR is. And so on the M-Trons, we do that. It's integrated into it, and I do the actual EMAP pressure, feed that in the M-Tron, and it'll correct the reading from a pre-turbo O2 sensor. So it's important that you know if you're taking a log on your STI or WRX that's EJ based, not FA, for an EJ based motor, that O2 sensor reading is not accurate. When you see air fuel ratio and you're in boost, like, oh, I got 11.4 in boost. No, that's not right. You could have 10.4 or you could have 13. In boost, 13 to 1 AFR will read 11 on the O2 sensor. So guys who are doing E-tunes using that freaking sensor are doing you a serious disservice. It's really bad. And a lot of guys do it. They think that, oh, it's fine. It's close. It's accurate. It's not close at all. Like, I've had cars that are 13 to 1 and they indicate 11 to 1 AFR because it's got 40 pounds or 50 pounds of pressure in the exhaust manifold. Now, in that case, like I said, I was at 4 pounds. So at 4 pounds of boost, I probably have around 4 pounds of pressure in the exhaust on this small factory turbo. Could be more, could be less, but it's a small factory turbo around $4,000. It's going to be pretty close at 4 pounds. But if I give it to 20 at $4,000, it's probably like 40, or more. So, hey, Kenneth. So it's just something to keep in mind. You see guys post their screenshots of their anxiety ports on Facebook. They're like, my air fuel's fine. Like, no, it isn't, you moron. You don't know what the fuck it is. Do you have a wideband? No. Then you don't fucking know what it is. Plain and simple. All right, I got Cabot TAC T 3675. Is that what it was? Somewhere in there. Now, properly functioning catalytic converters will make your AFR read leaner than actual. How much leaner depends entirely on how efficient the cat is, where it's located, etc., etc. I'm talking about the one on the dyno, not the one in your car. And it can read the same. It can read like half a point, sometimes even a full point leaner than actual. So it's an issue. It's why a lot of the downpipes have bungs in the downpipe post turbo. So it's an issue if you shoot for that. You're like, oh, I mean, it's only kind of an issue, I guess, really. If it's reading leaner and you still target something richer than actual, it's not like you're gonna wash down the cylinders. A lot of guys go, oh, I'm gonna wash down my cylinders. They're 10 to 1. Yeah, well, from the factory they come 10 to 1, so they're not washing cylinders down from the factory. Shut the fuck up. If it was 9 or something, then yeah, I could see that. But it's not. So if I had a lean reading O2 sensor and it was reading 11.5, and I tuned it for 11.5, it's probably 11.0, right? That's typically what you're going to see. I'm really surprised right now at the level of correction I have. Considering this car is almost all stock, and it's just got a fucking Cobb SF on it and exhaust. 13, plus 8%, 20-something% lean right now in this spot. I don't like that. I'm gonna look at this mass airflow, and I'm gonna bring up this screen on my dyno, which you don't get to see. It tells you how much horsepower the car is making at the wheels. And I'm gonna compare the two and see what we get. Typically, they're within like 10% in load. We're in cruise right now, so it's not gonna be the same. But the dyno was only saying 7, and this thing was saying 20 grams. So I don't think the mass airflow sensor is reading low. It's probably pulsation, because we are right in the area where the GR stumble happens. So if I go lower here, we'll say 1800 RPM, as hard as that is to control. You see here, we're at 12-ish, 13% correction total, learning and correction. If I bring it up to 25, look at there, right here, this is where the stumble happens. Look at that. Wow, 25, 30%? That is the home of the GR stumble right here at this 2800 RPM range. So this resonance here looks like it moved up a few hundred RPM. So the boom hits that 10 spot. You see the correction drop to nothing, drops back down, and it starts to leave that high correction. And then sure enough, now 30% cheese balls. That's a lot of correction. I'm actually really surprised it's that much. That's way more than is typical. Can you do the wire management with green speed? Can't log maybe, right? I don't know. I don't think so. I think all the sensor input stuff was deleted. Uh, Sensor inputs custom. Looks like they got it working now. So they now use just the right input. So you can use this for one thing. So with the Cobb Neo Gen Flex Fuel kit, you can get the fuel pressure sensor and put it on the right TGV and the right TGV only. Obviously, they can't do anything about the rear 2 because that's for catalyst efficiency and all that stuff, so they can't get rid of that. They can't use both TGVs because then you're taking away an emissions device. So I think they do their TGV cloning and then borrow just one input from one side. So then they get the one. So you can choose to do it with that. You can go speed density and use the mass airflow sensor. Like if you want to go speed density, you can use the MAF to feed in your 0 to 5 from your wideband. I have a lot of guys that do that because they already use their TGVs for flex and all that stuff. So you could technically use the MAF for that. You can go speed density, but you know, if you don't need to go speed density, don't. Because the MAF is more precise and all that. All right, I'm not digging these corrections at all. Make sure I got the right MAF. Why can't I compare now? Right now? What the fuck? You can't compare now? Travis, you seen this shit? Why can't we do the map compare? I want to compare the map scaling between their. Oh, am I on tracing? Is that enabled still? Maybe that could be. Yes, you're right. That's exactly what it is. All right, I thought that was a fucking change. Thank you. Good catch. Yeah, it's been a while since I've used fucking the software now. I thought it was just another fucking fu. That's all. Because right now, like when you're in a bad relationship and someone says something, you automatically just assume they're like talking shit about you. That's how it feels right now. I feel like I'm a battered spouse. And Kyle's been beating me for years. So now when I see something change, I just automatically assume it's uh, it's out of malice or I take it the wrong way. All right, so it's definitely a more aggressive math count. But we got learning across the board here. Never seen a Cobb SF be this far off. Have you? I've never seen this far off. This makes me think I got a vacuum leak somewhere. Oh, they did do this. They did they put the stage 3 values in here too. That's a shame. I really dislike the stage 3 maps. They they run so bad. I don't know why it's still a thing. The wall wetting settings cause all kinds of issues. Maybe it's an altitude thing up here, but up here the stage 3 wall wetting settings that started originally on the 1050 stage 3 maps, so bad. Air fuel just bounces like crazy in a power pole or when you're cruising. Slight changes in load, you get this huge spikes. Like it's really, really bad. The stage 3 map up here does not work. And I never recommend the stage 3 map of Cobb. I don't know who wrote it, but it's bad. So, and that's the only time I ever said that about any Cobb map ever, is the stage 3 one. It's not good. Every car I've seen it on, the cars just run crap. And like I said, maybe it's up here. Maybe they don't have tested at altitude or something. But they get them on the dyno and they all have just oscillations in the fuel. All right, I'm gonna do a small low boost pull here. See how close we are to our targets. Enough yapping. Time to do some more shit. I pulled a ton of timing out of it, obviously. So thankfully there's no knock. Let's see. Commanded fuel final was high 11s down to low 11s. Okay, that's expected. Hit 10 pounds of boost, 11 pounds of boost ish. Did it creep at that one spot? Nope. Whiskey did his job. That's a torque 300. Nice and low. I had it in I mode. Whiskey duty cycle in I mode 0. Perfect. So that's good. That all was fine. And of course the dyno didn't fucking record, because that's what that does. Well, it kind of recorded. It shows me a power number, but it didn't show me any graphs. So to fix that, I gotta turn off the computer and turn it back on again. That's dynamics for you. Who, coincidentally, is going out of business because they're a bunch of cocksuckers. I don't think I've been so happy about a company going out of business as I have been about dynamics going out of business. I mean, you can only be unethical for so long before it catches up to you. This thing does not idle smoothly, which makes me worry about it already for the poor guy. All right, so air fuel at the tailpipe almost exactly matches target AFR in the log, so that's good. And the oscillations are there that I was talking about, but they're small through the mid-range, little wiggles. But that's what I was saying with the stage 3 tunes. They have these little wiggles in there. At higher power, the wiggles get bigger, and I didn't like them. So let's see. Ever noticed? I don't typically use them for. Okay. Sweet. I'm starving. I didn't eat anything today. All right. So that's good. Everything hit targets. I like that. What was my load? 2.3. Okay, so what I'm seeing now, oh, look at this fucking trend. 33% in idle. All right, well, but my air fuel is also 12.9. The fuck is this? That's all I gotta say. What is this shit? Why am I running rich and the ECU is adding more fuel? Look at this. The correction's going up, the ratio is getting richer, and the target is supposed to be 14.5. Just double check and do the closed loop command, the one that said just command field final. Command field final is supposed to be like, all that stuff, but everyone can't read the whole thing. Target. Nothing long. Like that. No, it's 12.8 right now. Oh, peculiar. Everything is fine. Coolant temp is normal. Intake air temp is normal. Pressure is normal. I got a 12.8 closed loop. I wonder if that's the freaking Ruro 2. I wonder if it's having some fun in the back there. Behind the cat. Seriously, come on. Open the fucking window. What's that one doing? 5%. Alright, let's see what Cobb did here. Close that so I can do some stuff real quick. That's what they say it does. That's all I have for closed loop targets. And yet it's that freaking rich. Let's check the TPS rated fuel line. Nothing out there. Nothing out in post start. That's weird. I'm going to log this. I wonder if there's any tables I can put in here that might give us more information on that. Shouldn't be double load. Should be 14.7. Okay, it's leaning out now. Huh. It's like it went into a cold start in Richmond, but it wasn't cold. At least on the dash, it's not cold. The ECU got a bad signal. Let's see. Let's add that real quick and just see if it's reading something funky. No, still says 181. That is weird. So I'm wondering if it's a catalyst issue, if it's trying to increase the air fuel target to activate a catalyst, whether it's too hot or not giving the right reading. So one thing that they do is they use pump current to establish EGT. You may notice that some of these new cars have EGT limits or EGT codes for high EGT, but they don't have an EGT sensor. And that's because they figured out a long time ago that since they control the temperature of the O2 sensor so effectively, like they know where they need it to be so specifically, that the amount of heat they have to add to it via the heater current is related to what the temperature of the exhaust is. So they use the O2 current to establish an EGT. And so in the rear O2 sensor, the same deal. If you use the O2 current, they can see, oh, hey, this cat's really fucking hot or it's really cold, right? They can get a difference between the two and, you know, the pump current on the front versus the pump current on the rear and know there's an EGT delta across that catalytic converter, and it gives them an idea of what's going on with it. So I don't know if that's affecting this or not. I'm not sure. But I still don't like the amount of correction this thing has had, even earlier in cruise. So I think I'm going to have to do some tests here and all that. But in the meantime, I need to eat some lunch. So I don't think you guys want to watch me eat a burger because it's going to be messy. And so I think I'm just going to end the stream now, get back to figuring out what the hell's wrong with this. I think you guys got some good ranting content to go on. That should be fun. And keep an eye out for more side-by-side stuff. Eventually, I'm going to start doing that. Obviously, the side-by-side market is super flooded. There's so much stuff in there. But I do want to design a few things. But I have bought some stuff from people that have already designed some really cool things. I don't want to say anyone's designs, so I'm not gonna like copy those things. But there's one thing I got. It is super cool. I'm looking forward to getting it. I want to use it in my side by side. And it's one of those things where, man, I wish I'd have thought of it first. It's really cool though. I do want to come up with a few things as I drive this thing around. I'm getting a feel for some of its weaknesses, and as I talk to other owners, their weaknesses, and figuring out ways of building stuff for it. But like I said, there's a lot of people on that market. But there's not a lot of guys that tune the Hondas um, in the country. So I do have the tuning suite for side by side. I have the tuning suite for like every Harley, anything that DynoJet can do. I have the tuning suite for all that stuff. So almost all the motorcycles, power sports stuff, side by sides, etc. I have all that. Now, I haven't done any of it, so I don't have any experience tuning those specifically yet. But I do have experience tuning. And I know that side by sides aren't the same as cars. I know that there's some differences in what they like, what they don't like, with engine geometry and all that. I get that, and that's why I always try and do R&D before I offer any services for anybody else. But that being said, I will be doing some tuning on the Honda eventually. Specifically, I have to put the cam in it, and then obviously more to put the turbo in it. So if you got a side by side and you got a Honda one, I'm telling. I might have some stuff for you coming in the future. I don't want to say near future because that'd be a lie, but in the future. So, anyways, guys, thanks for sticking around and laughing at me. I like to be laughed at. Wait, is that how I want to end the stream? I don't know. That's not right. You're saying that. Just kidding. Let's see. Let me save this real quick, just as where I'm at. I'm gonna start getting rid of some of that wall wetting stuff, and I'm gonna change some of the other settings to the closed loop fuel targets and see if that affects that weird rich behavior that we're seeing. But that's what I will do after lunch. So again, guys, I appreciate you coming by. Have a good week, and hopefully a good weekend. If I don't see you again, let's say Thursday, yeah, so a good weekend. I'm doing some work on my buddy's car tomorrow, and we're gonna ride the side by side on Saturday. So we're gonna have some good time. So see you guys. See you, Travis, Kenneth, Justin, and everybody else that's in or out of the chat. I appreciate you guys stopping by and saying hi, and have a good one. And I still need a closer. Something like, remember it's all in the tune or some shit. I don't know. Something nerdy like that. Blame the tune. I don't know. It's a tune. Maybe I'll make some shirts that just say, like, in the tune, or it's all the tune. It's always a tune. It's always a tune. Maybe